My name means worthy of love. And for years, I fought against that because I felt unworthy and unlovable. But I want to tell you the story about how God not only redeemed my name, He also gave me a new identity. And I hope it encourages you because you also are worthy of love. Hi, hello there. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Amanda. I am here to help you kind of understand the Great Commission a little bit better, to talk about mission trips and other Bible-y things. And I am nervous about this video because this is just one of the hardest videos for me to film because I have been trying to film this video for literally years. I have filmed it several different times over, but I've never been able to really feel confident enough to share this story because it is such an intimate story. But I think the time is now because we are seeing so many people in the world who just don't realize how valuable they are to God and how much God truly loves them. And I am one of those people who struggles with that, even now as a Christian. And I still struggle with this idea. Why do I have value? And I want to share the story about how God helped me discover said value. So as I stated, my name means worthy of love. I discovered the meaning of my name pretty early on in life, but it was unfortunately after several years of hearing my name used as a weapon against me. I grew up in kind of a volatile home. There was a lot of emotional outbursts. There was a lot of verbal violence. And my name was used in a negative way to get my attention when I was in trouble. So my name, the physical name Amanda, became synonymous with you're in trouble or you are wrong. And that over time morphed into you're always a screw up. You can't do anything right. You're gonna be unlovable for forever because you're worthless. And of course, none of that is actively true, but over the years of hearing my name as a kind of rebuke or a reprimand, I have made that connection. And so when I was 15 and I found out that the meaning of my name in Spanish meant lovable, I had to actively laugh. What do you mean I'm lovable? Nobody loves me. That doesn't match. That doesn't exist. And so I continued to believe the lie that my name didn't mean what it meant, that I was unlovable. And when I was in college, once again, I found out that the English meaning of my name meant worthy of love. And I was absolutely gutted by that because I was in the midst of some of the deepest depression that I'd ever felt. I was living a life so separate from God that I could not even look at my name and recognize it. I knew my name was Amanda and I couldn't find another way to express who I was outside of that name. I became further entangled in this idea that my name is wrong and I am wrong. So fast forward several years, I give my life back to Christ, but I still can't get behind this idea that I am worthy of love. I feel a little more worthy now that I have a relationship with God, but I still hated my name. So when I'm in college and I'm trying to reconcile this idea that I am not a bad person and I'm not evil because I have God in me, and God says I'm worthy of love and He gave me this name, but I don't feel worthy of love. I feel kind of bad all the time. I'm trying to balance this and I don't know what to do, and I go on a mission trip, as one does. Now, I went on the trip not because I wanted to find a new name, but because the Lord called me. But I go on this mission trip, and in that country that we were in, I believe we were in South Africa, we were going to be talking to some people who had tribal languages. There's a bunch of languages in South Africa, and one of the ones is Zulu. When we were there, we were told that sometimes African people, especially the ones that speak tribal languages, that don't speak a lot of English, have a hard time pronouncing American names or Western names. And so sometimes they will give us a new name to go by that's just a little bit easier than giving them our American name. I don't think that the actual pronunciation of my name would have been too difficult for the African people to say. I really think that it's a pretty simple name. It has a lot of A's, but it was really, really cute that our translator asked me if I wanted a new name. And I thought, oh, this is a fun little cultural experience. Let me get a new name. And so I said, yeah, what is my new name? And so she looked at me and she studied me for a second. And then she said, Tando. And I was like, what does Tando mean? She said, it means love. And I absolutely lost it. She had no idea what that meant to me. I had a third confirmation that the Lord knew that I was worthy of love. Not only did my Spanish name, Amanda, mean lovable, my English name, Amanda, meant worthy of love. Now my Zulu name, Tando, meant love. Like the Lord was pushing deep into me. You are worthy of love. And not just am I worthy of love, I show the love of Christ to people in my life. The Lord allowed me to see him in such a beautiful way. And then it opened my eye to seeing the world differently. I no longer saw myself as an individual struggling with the meaning of her name. I saw myself as someone who can showcase God's glory and God's redemptive power. My whole life, my name had meant that I was unworthy and unlovable. But the Lord said no. He redeemed me long before that moment, but he really solidified it in that moment that he sees me as someone worth loving. He didn't do this just for me, although this was a beautiful thing he did, and I will always cherish that. The Lord redeemed me, and he will redeem you. It's not a question of if, it is a question of when. He can take whatever name has been placed on you, whatever the world has called you, whatever identity they have said, this is who you are. He can take that identity away, completely shred it, throw it away, burn it in a fire, it's gone, and give you the name child of God, redeemed, worthy of love. Please don't hesitate to ask him for that. It is truly one of the most freeing experiences that you can have by just accepting that you don't have to be who you were. You can be who he says you are. Because who he says you are, the person he thought about when he died on the cross. This is something that I've wanted to talk about for a long time. And I've never really had a way to talk about it. And I just want to encourage you to seek him for your name, for your identity, for what you are. Don't seek the world. Don't seek your friends or your family. Seek him, because he says you are worthy of love. Thank you so much for watching this video. I kind of bared my heart a little bit, so sorry if that was a little bit vulnerable and uncomfortable, but I really, really felt like I needed to share this message with someone, especially since this is kind of the love season and people are getting into relationships or feeling maybe lonely. I want you to know that you are not alone, that you have value, you have worth, and there is someone who loves you deeper than anyone ever could, and he just wants to have a relationship with you. If you have a really cool story about how God demonstrated his love to you, specifically, that you're like, wow, God, you did that for me, go ahead and write those stories in the comments down below. I look forward to reading your stories, to hearing more about how God has kind of transformed your heart and transformed your mind. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.